original question. Albert Greer says it's kind of unfortunate that the NFL's official account is tweeting this out without the actual question, which was how Gabriel and the quarterbacks are trying to make sure the outside noise doesn't infiltrate what's going on internally. It wasn't a shock.
Breaking news, and it's pure chaos in front of a national audience, and the jokes crashed harder than a canceled reality show. Fans froze, then flooded the comments, and Dillon started trending for all the wrong reasons in minutes. Picture it. Dillon wakes up, checks his phone, and decides, today, I'm roasting Shedeur on live TV. Not in a meeting, not in private, not from a burner, straight to the cameras with a smirk like he was untouchable. That's not confidence, and he aimed it at the one fan base you never disrespect, part football royalty.
Entertainers, and you have a job to do. And I respect it, right? And I'm a competitor, so I have a job to do as well. And I think, just understanding that, that's how I've lived by, and I've said that multiple times. So definitely not a new quote, but something that...
Part pop culture machine, all gas, no brakes. Dillon walked into that segment like a guy carrying a spark into a fireworks factory. And the blast was instant. He's talented, sure, but talent doesn't save you from, and this choice was a Hall of Fame mistake. It felt less like quarterback talk and more like an audition for Who Wants to Lose a fan base, because that sells out stadiums and steals every camera shot with one grin. Shedeur Sanders just got roasted on live TV by Dillon Gabriel career sabotage. With a smile, Shedeur Nation bad choices. Shedeur isn't just a player, he's a movement. Challenging Shedeur on live TV is like walking into Gordon Ramsay's kitchen with instant noodles and saying, let's cook. It's not brave, it's reckless. And the wildest part wasn't the line, it was the aftermath. X, Twitter, turned into a digital war zone as Shedeur fans became investigators, meme editors, and clip hunters within minutes. They pulled angles, screens, and slow-mo replays so fast that Dillon couldn't even sip a sports drink before it turned into a GIF timeline of regret. Welcome to the Sanders effect.
Entertainers, there's competitors, we're entertainers, we're journalists, but what he said, I guess you could sort of, what do you think about that? What's your reaction to his comments there?
Well, I was watching this game live, and I watched that interview live, and I watched what he said. Now, here I am coloring in all of the context for you guys. When he was being interviewed, you could tell he was nervous and kind of didn't want to be there. He was kind of want to get back to the sideline and watch the game. And so that question followed up when he was given shorter answers. So when he said that, I felt like he was directly talking to Aditi Kinkobwala and saying, you guys are entertainers.
It's real and it's ruthless. People who come at Shedeur either apologize on camera, claim it was a joke, or sit while he quietly drops another 300 yards like it's just another Saturday. It's not a rivalry, it's a pattern, and challenging Shedeur means you become a meme, not a winner. Now imagine you're Dillon's coach. You've preached discipline, focus, professionalism for weeks.
Saying there's entertainers, meaning those of us in the media or those that are criticizing, and he's a competitor, and in this context, he's not listening to the noise. Is that what you're trying to translate? Because I'm hearing a small jab there at Shedeur as being an entertainer with the top watch and everything like that and everything.
Then your QB goes rogue on national TV like he's trying out for a roast show that never aired. Every press conference now starts with, Coach, how's Dillon holding up after the Shedeur situation? And all you can do is smile and pretend it's fine while the internet keeps cooking. Meanwhile, Shedeur doesn't even lift a finger. One photo, one cryptic caption, silence, and the timeline explodes without him saying a word. That's the power play. When you're that guy, you don't chase beef. Beef shows up at your door and asks for a selfie. Here's the kicker. The insult wasn't even clever. If you're going to risk your rep on live TV, bring wit, bring heat, bring something. Not a wet sandwich one-liner that made the cameraman want to clock out. If you're going to roast yourself in front of millions, at least make it a line worth remembering. Dillon brought plain bread and called it confidence.
Gabriel out here leaking. And this is a soap opera to the fullest. Even if Shedeur Sanders wasn't a superstar wherever he is, because he is certainly box office, even if he wasn't that, I still think Dillon Gabriel be like, oh, they drafted this dude behind me? I ain't gonna love this dude. I ain't got love for him. Because you're...
Now zoom out. The Shedeur Sanders effect isn't hype. It's a media phenomenon. When Shedeur plays, ratings jump, stadiums fill, cameras orbit, and highlights loop like it's Shedeur TV. Dillon doesn't pull that gravity, and his jab didn't just hit Shedeur, it swung at the orbit of fame, which is a battle you don't win with a smirk and a flat punchline. You can't insult the sun and expect people to cheer for the flashlight. Shedeur's star power shines and it burns anyone who stands too close. So Dillon's new playbook is damage control, the PR team typing drafts, polishing apologies, maybe even planning a wholesome puppy post to soften the edges. But once the internet locks in, there's no mercy. The memes turned legendary quick, and Dillon became main character for all the wrong reasons. Edits had him at the kids' table while Shedeur dined with icons, and TikTok remixed his line into a viral sound. He didn't just slip, he dove into the internet blender, and now every platform is serving a fresh plate. He wanted attention, and he got it. Just not the kind you put on a highlight reel. This wasn't a slip of the tongue. It was a choice made under bright studio lights, and choices bring consequences. His QBR might dip, but his meme rating is MVP right now. Across the league, every other quarterback is sipping quietly, grateful they aren't the headline, because nothing unites football fans like watching someone light their own rep on fire trying to roast a superstar. And this isn't just sports chatter, it's pop culture now.
If I'm Shedeur, I'm like, duck. Direct shot at Shedeur. And I don't know Dillon Gabriel, but I know the dynamics in which he's dealing with. I've told you guys countless times how many teammates I've had, and whether it was me in that position or other teammates where you had a love-hate relationship with.
Shedeur's brand breaks the football bubble. Entertainment blogs, meme pages, and late-night shows all picked up the story. What was meant to tear Shedeur down made him bigger. That's not a diss. That's free marketing in HD. What's next? Dillon will try to ball out and stack touchdowns, but every score comes with someone yelling, "Aren't you the guy?" And every broadcast will slide the clip back on screen. Every snap now carries the weight of that one decision. While Shedeur stays quiet, stacks highlights, and acts like Dillon doesn't exist, that's revenge through excellence. Dillon basically handed his rival a sword, and Shedeur hung it on the wall like art. That's how unfazed he is. You don't poke this bear. You nod, say great shoes, compliment the post-game fit, and keep it moving while cameras are on. Dillon wanted a viral moment, and he got one. Just not the kind that brings endorsements and respect. There's enough history here to make a docu-series called How Not to Talk About Shedeur Sanders, because every coach, player, and analyst who tried it ended up backpedaling like a corner chasing Tyreek. Still, Dillon walked into that studio like he was invincible. Mic hot, brain cold, confidence on 10, and decided today's the day I test Shedeur Nation.
Litmus test. You ever been on a team? Go grab that team photo. Right now, how many of those guys can you name? Go. Not all of them, for sure. 50%, most people can't. It's because we're not all connected, even though we're all a part of the same thing. So Dillon Gabriel is connected to the Cleveland Browns because he got drafted 3rd round, excited for his opportunity and trying to make the squad. Hours later, they draft another guy who has now taken not only Cleveland, but the whole football world by storm. And now, every time Dillon Gabriel hears his name, he hears
Shedeur Nation does not forgive, and it does not forget. They don't take prisoners, they take screenshots. Within hours, X turned into a courtroom. Dillon was the defendant, and the fan base pulled old stats, bad plays, awkward photos, even youth clips with captions like, "Been mid since 2009. This wasn't just a roast, it was research. And the memes were ruthless, with his quote turned into punchlines and reaction edits faster than ESPN could rerun the segment. He wanted fame and got it, but now when his name trends, it's about the day he challenged Shedeur and became a cautionary tale. At this rate, his legacy risks turning into a footnote on Shedeur's Wikipedia page, which is wild. The timing made it worse. This wasn't a leak or hot mic moment. He chose live national TV under bright lights, and that's like robbing a bank at noon and waving at the cameras. He didn't just open the door to criticism, he rolled out a red carpet and handed critics a microphone. Meanwhile, Shedeur said nothing. Silence became the knockout punch, and the internet ran the circus while he sipped water and stayed cool. That's the level he's on. His fans fight the battles while he keeps winning. It's power without effort. Now, practices aren't just drills.
Very interesting comments. He said, there are entertainers and there are competitors, and my job is to compete. He tried to clarify later at the presser, saying he meant the media are the entertainers and a competitor, and he's a competitor, and he wasn't taking a shot at Shedeur, but the damage was done. Everybody knows what he meant by that, because you know why? I'm gonna let you take off. You remember at Oregon what the head coach said when they played Colorado?
Right.
Who was the quarterback?
Yeah.
Who was the quarterback?
They're dodge the question sessions as reporters ask, so what did you think about your comments on Shedeur? And the locker room stress is through the roof. Boosters are heated too. You don't mess with the name that sells tickets, drives segments, and moves jerseys. Shedeur isn't just a quarterback. He's a brand and an economy, and the market reacts when you try him. So we're in the official damage control era. Expect long Instagram notes, carefully scripted interviews, and teammates saying misunderstood and out of context, even though the context was live TV. Meanwhile, Shedeur's stock climbs. He turned the whole situation into a flex without lifting a finger, and Dillon is getting memed into orbit. The edits are gold. Dillon at open mic night. Dillon as the "this is fine" dog. Dillon as the side character who only exists to make the hero look better. He's trending as comedy fuel. Here's what Dillon missed. Recruiting and scouting care about character as much as arm talent, and this screamed iffy decision-making under bright lights. Scouts will note, yeah, he can throw, but what happens when a mic shows up? And that's not the note you want on a report.
Shot at Shedeur.
You think so?
When have we ever thought about the media, those beat writers as entertainers? We've heard his coach, he was on the team when he said they're celebs.
Wait, but you can't tie him and his coach together as if they have the same mind, as if they're one.
Name the time you've ever heard someone say there are entertainers and there are competitors, and I'm here to compete. Tell me the time.
Right. Okay. Listen. Let's say he's taking a shot at Shedeur, right? At what point has he been an entertainer? He's a football player as well.
But we've heard people say that.
He wanted ESPN highlights and got tabloid heat. He wanted buzz and got a meme campaign, while Shedeur stayed chill, probably texting friends and ignoring the noise like the star he is. That's the difference. Shedeur doesn't chase clout. Clout follows him like a shadow. Dillon volunteered to be Exhibit A in Shedeur's museum of rivals who made bad choices. He practically handed over his dignity and asked for display lighting. And now everyone in the game is reminded of the golden rule. Don't mess with Shedeur unless you want to trend for the wrong reasons. This wasn't just a bad move, it's a case study in how to wreck your rep fast. And Dillon just wrote the manual so no one else has to. Fans are locked in like it's a series. Reality TV and helmets. People literally showed up to practice with snacks to watch the fallout live. Whispers of locker room tension are everywhere. Reporters smell a story, and the internet never forgets. 5 years from now, this clip will still follow him around. He could run for office, and the ad would loop his line. That's how deep it's etched.
All right, go ahead, Ocho, go ahead.
But listen, I don't. Hey, Chad, I don't want to do him like that. I'm gonna give Dillon Gabriel a little grace, a little understanding, because I don't think a college kid coming in as a rookie in the NFL would take that kind of shot at a teammate that he's competing with for a job. I just don't see. I don't see it. I see it as him when he says entertainers in that aspect where he said it's the media. I'm not sure how he views the media as the entertainers, but the way the media stirs the pot and creates the ruckus, and all he does is compete. I see it from.
It's like a tattoo you can't laser off. Dillon didn't just start a mess. He turned a football moment into a traveling circus and somehow became the driver of the clown car. Maybe that's the legacy now. Not franchise face, but the guy who turned one reckless sentence into a full-blown cultural event. He wanted smoke and forgot smoke brings fire. He thought throwing shade at Shedeur made him bold, but it just cramped his whole image in front of millions. He didn't start a rivalry. He launched a worldwide roast session with himself as the main course, while Shedeur grinned, stacked another win, and let the world talk. Dillon didn't just lose a moment. He lost the season's storyline and maybe the chance to be remembered for anything other than this legendary blunder. So, what do you think of Dillon Gabriel's epic meltdown? Was this the biggest cell phone in recent football history, or a recoverable PR fumble with time and wins? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more wild sports drama. This saga isn't done yet.